It's raining again. Hello, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about tomatoes because I'm finally getting around to it. I've been procrastinating for so long because on a personal level, I don't like them. So I'm trying to get excited about them. And in doing so, I've been researching different varieties to grow because I'm really hopeful to find a variety that I actually will like. So I've set myself a challenge. Everyone says homegrown tastes so much better than shop-bought tomatoes, so I'm really going to put that theory to the test, and I think it's going to be a big challenge. So are there any of you that don't like shop-bought tomatoes but have varieties that you grow yourself and you've since been converted to a tomato lover? Because if you have, I'd love to hear what varieties they are, because I might not have them in this little collection, and it isn't too late to buy some more and try again. All of these varieties have been chosen because they have different intricacies within their flavours and different intensity. Some are meatier, some are sharper, some are more fleshy, some are juicier. And I'm just trying to find something. Now, all that said, I actually am excited to grow tomatoes, not just because I'm trying to find one that I'm going to enjoy eating, but I was looking forward to it anyway, because I can't wait to see this space absolutely full of tomatoes and teeming with life. The smell of the tomato plants, all the different trusses, the colours of the tomatoes, the size of the fruit. I'm really looking forward to it. So even as someone that doesn't currently eat them, I'm still going to get on board and be excited in the sheer joy of growing tomatoes. And this space has been created predominantly with tomatoes in mind. So I can't wait. I really can't wait. And just think how much better that would be if I end up growing something that I like as well. That would just be the complete and utter icing on the cake. And I don't mind the odd tomato chopped up into something cooked either. So it's not that I never eat them. I just don't like raw tomato at the moment. And that is what I'm hoping to change with these seeds and your help. So the first one I've got here is Crushed Heart. Now this picture on the packaging does not do this any justice. It is an absolutely beautiful shaped tomato, and I saw it on Hannah Ginger Grows last year, and I thought, I don't care that I don't like tomatoes. I love the look of that tomato, so I'm growing it because I'm going to absolutely love seeing it grow. It's supposed to be meaty and dense with a mild and sweet flavour. All of these from Tomato Revolution are heirloom tomatoes. So that's number one. And then I have Luc Vichois, which is an alternative to Barry's Crazy Cherry, which everyone seems to grow. So this is a multiflora tomato. It's sort of like little small plums, and they are supposed to be juicy, sweet, and very, very fruity. This gets really good rave reviews, and is supposed to be massive amounts of tomatoes on each branch. So good yielder as well. The next one I'm growing is Blue Bayou. Now this is an absolutely stunning tomato. Again, these photos don't do it any justice. The more sun you have, so assuming we got a really nice summer this year, not that this weather behind me is looking promising, so the sunnier it gets, the darker this turns, almost black in some instance, but it's a very bluey black, hence the name. This is another mild and balanced tomato, but it's supposed to be great for growing outdoors and in the greenhouse. And that's another thing that I'd like to do, is I've heard that there's different tastes depending on where they're grown. So I'm going to grow some of the ones that they say do grow well outside as well as in the polytunnel or greenhouse, to compare if that alters the taste for me as well. So there's Blue Bayou. Then I have this one. This is Great Yellow Blue, a beefsteak variety. Meaty and juicy, but it's still quite mild, very high yielding, 6 to 12 ounce tomatoes. And obviously I'm sure you're well aware that I'm liking the look of having a yellow tomato in my harvest truck. And then we have this one, which is Queen of the Night. Now, Queen of the Night is full of really healthy antioxidants, a bit like blueberries, and I do like things for their polyphenols, which is why I eat a lot of the darker red berries, and why I'm choosing some of the darker tomatoes as well, because I'm kind of obsessed with the gut microbiome, so I'm looking for things with decent polyphenols. So this again is a dense and strong flavour, 10 or so tomatoes per truss, again another high yielding one. I've also got Black Beauty. Now, I chose this for a few reasons. One, I've got horses of my own, so the term Black Beauty obviously inspired me. I love the colour of it. It can be grown outside, but the main reason I chose this is because it's described as having a very complex taste, and it's supposed to be a bit of a twist on a tomato. And I can be quite a complex character, ask my husband. So I thought, that one's a bit like me, I'm growing that. I also have Mocha's Cherry Round. Now I've chosen this one for a couple of reasons, and the main one being is that it's quite a dwarf bush, so I thought it won't take up much space. If I'm a bit short of space, this only growing to 3 foot would be great. And it's another one that can also be grown outside, and it's supposed to be a very tart and refreshing type flavour, so it's a very different flavour to some of the other ones as well. So that's why this one made my list. I'm also growing cherry brandy wine, and this made my shortlist for a few reasons. Again, it's multiflora. The tomatoes are varying sizes from quite small cherry tomatoes up to golf ball sizes. It's an early cropper, so it's early to set and ripen its fruit, but also it is a potato leaf variety, so I quite like the idea that it would look different as well. And it's supposed to be the star of the show, so let's see. The last tomato that I have from Tomato Revolution is Aichi First, which is a Japanese heirloom tomato. Supposed to be an absolutely amazing cropper. It's a vigorous plant. You get up to 30 pounds of fruit off of it each year. It's very pretty looking, sort of a blunt heart-shaped tomato, and it's supposed to be very, very nice, and you can make sauces out of it. So I thought if I didn't like it, this one could go in the sauce pile for tomatoes. I thought I'd finish with tomatoes, and then I kept seeing this one mentioned everywhere, honeycomb. This is the new kid on the block to Sun Gold. I'm giving my age away there, talking about new kids on the block. I reckon Ali from the Right Pear Plot is laughing now. We always have these reminiscing about our younger years. Now these are big long trusses as well, and it is supposed to have a flavour of honey about them. Now I quite like honey, so I have high hopes for liking this one, and I'm going to be quite disappointed, I think, if I don't like it. This one is also supposed to be slightly blight resistant, so I thought I quite like the idea of that, and that's why I chose this over Sun Gold, because we did have Sun Gold last year, but I'm hoping to actually like this. And then the final two varieties I have that I've got real interest in are these from Chiltern Seeds, and these are Burlesque and San Marzano, and I've bought these solely based on the recommendation in a recent live I did with Danny at the Grow Up channel. We had a tomato special, and these were recommended for canning and preserving. Now at the time I thought, oh brilliant, I like to make my own sauces. But then I watched Rach from our Allotment plots last week trying to do a water bath on her tomatoes, and well, it took her 9 hours, probably a whole bottle of gin as well to get through it, a bit of therapy afterwards as well, but she did get there in the end, bless her. So I'm not quite sure if I feel like I want the idea of canning or the water bathing. So for me, I'm probably likely to make the sauces and then sort of put them in freezer bags and lie them flat in the freezer and store them that way instead, because I'm not sure I'm going to like tomatoes enough to want to go to that much effort. So they are the other varieties. Then there are 3 more varieties that I'm not even going to bother showing you, and they are called Divinity F1, Crimson Crush and Rose Crush, which are blight resistant varieties that I thought would be sort of a fail-safe crop, hopefully, that if we have a really bad year for blight. They're nothing particularly special, they just look like standard tomatoes, but that is why I've bought them. So will I find a tomato that I like? Do any of you grow them even though you don't like them? Because I am actually really excited for tomato season. I can't wait to open the doors of the polytunnel and see all the tomatoes starting to ripen. I am absolutely deliriously excited for that, and I can't imagine how much that excitement must escalate for those of you that are absolutely passionate about the taste of tomatoes. I was talking to Nick the other day from That British Homestead, and she is absolutely madly passionate about tomatoes. I can't get my head around the amount of tomatoes that she's going to grow, but obviously Nick does do a lot of the preserving with her, so she has massive uses for hers. So that's it. They are my varieties. I'm going to sow most of them and put them in the house to germinate. I'm also going to germinate a few outside, just because for me I want to see if it's worth me keeping them to germinate in the house. I want to see how fast they catch up, the ones that are done in the greenhouse, because obviously we're all pushed for space. The seedling shuffle struggle is real. So I'm doing that as well as a little experiment. So I will keep you updated on that. But for me, 2024, the season of growing tomatoes is because it's find one Claire likes. Now, if you can think of something that is very unusual tasting and not like a normal supermarket tomato that I don't have in this list, and you think I should have included this one, then please do let me know in the comments, because it isn't too late for me to try something else as well, because I really do want to have the joy in picking and eating tomatoes. Straight from the vine would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, let's just see if grow your own really does make the difference, because right now I'm not sure I believe it. We'll find out, won't we? I'll catch you next time. Bye.